मेक मनी ऑनलाइन चैनल में वेलकम है आपका, स्वागत है आपका, सत श्री अकाल है। ये चैनल बहुत ही बेहतरीन है आपके लिए और ये चैनल को आप लाइक करें, सब्सक्राइब करें, शेयर करें और कमेंट्स ज़्यादा करें। डिजिटल यतेंद्र सिंह कुशवाहा।
My name's Lisa Williams, and this slot is all about bringing new people into your business, which is obviously why you're sat in this area, because you are looking to build your business and sponsor people. And it's such, as Jane said, it's such an exciting time of year to be doing that. But before I talk you through some things that I've been doing in my business, I'm just going to share a very quick video with you all. So my name's Lisa Williams, and I left school at the age of 16, no qualifications. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and I ended up getting a Christmas temporary job in retail, but I ended up staying there for 15 years. Met my husband Michael in between that time. He was an electrical contractor, and we had two little girls as well, Amelia and Georgia. But my husband's business fell under financial difficulty in 2012, and we looked at this as a business opportunity. I have to pinch myself because I just can't believe the experiences that this company have provided me and my family with over the last 3 years, and it's certainly helped me to grow, develop and learn. Seeing people that I started this journey with and being flown over to South Africa to be rewarded for their hard work was one of the most humbling experiences that I've ever witnessed. To see the lives of these people change as a result of their passion for what they do, and I can't believe that this started around a kitchen table. This business has given me a life-changing income, one which I never in a million years imagined would happen to me. And it's just down, not down to luck, it's down to hard work, being consistent. One thing that I've learned is that every person is given the same opportunity and we all start at the same place. But at the end of the day, it comes down to choice, making a change and having the belief. What I do know is that if you set your mind to do something, you can go out and achieve it. It might not be easy, but it's absolutely worth it. It's huge. This whole business is ran on helping other people. So that's my aim every day. Made us cry. Thank you. So I wanted to start with that video. It was actually a video that my husband created for us after we'd been in the business for just 3 years. So the reason I wanted to share it is because when I ordered my Start Your Journey pack in January of 2014, if somebody had shown me that video 3 years on and said that is what your life is going to look like as a result of starting that business with that box, I probably wouldn't have believed them. And I said in that video, you know, I'm not lucky. All of that has come from developing a few basic disciplines, really, and being quite strict with myself every day in terms of the activities that I'm doing. And I can hand on heart stand here and say that I've worked my business consistently for the last 5 years, and that's enabled me to have a little bit of time off this year. So, you know, as we go into a brand new decade, all of you guys are sat in the corner of this room because you wanting to grow a business. That might, some of those things that you see on there might not be what you want to achieve, because success looks differently to everyone. It really does. But it's just having some focus and belief and vision. And I know that Jane's just talked about that. And that is what this pack can do for you. You guys have all got that same opportunity, but you've also got an incredible gift to share with people. And if I hadn't have shared the gift of forever and the opportunity with people when I first got started, and have done that consistently over the past 5 years, none of that would have happened. So I hope that just kind of gives you some inspiration on just do the work and let go of the outcome, because look at what you can achieve. If that can happen for me and some of the people that I've worked alongside with, why can't it be you? It absolutely can. So today I'm going to talk to you about recruitment and some of the systems that I have put in place that really help me to use my time effectively and be productive when it comes to social media as well. So one of the first things that I wanted to talk about, and you might have heard this before, I've picked these types of things up from different trainings that I've attended, but I think this is really important to show, because recruitment or even retailing in your business is a little bit like a health and fitness journey. So when you look at this lady here, she's obviously very fit, very ripped. I would love to be like that one day, but I know I can. Like, why can't I not be? It's just putting the time in, being consistent, and then maintaining those results. And that's how our business works in exactly the same way. So whether that's customers that you're looking for in your business, you've got to put that time and effort in. Get the results that you want, but you've got to maintain those results. So if that lady started to eat McDonald's every single day, didn't go back to the gym, was having pizzas and really unhealthy food, her body is going to change. So it's just developing those habits and think of that, because it's the maintaining of what you do that's really important as well. It's not about just getting somewhere or maybe getting to supervisor or manager. It's, you know, you need to maintain that nice healthy business. So just always keep doing what you do. So 95% of my recruitment has come from Facebook, and the reason why, I don't know, we're all probably on social media, yeah? I'm quite bamboozled by the whole social media thing. There are so many platforms and so many choices. And for me, I tend to stick with Facebook. I do have an Instagram account. I don't really use it. I've never used LinkedIn. I've never really used Twitter. I went with Facebook because it's the largest social network platform out there. So there's 2.4 billion users on Facebook and 1.6 billion active daily users. And out of that 1.6, 58 minutes of their time is spent on Facebook every day. Now, I'm not saying that Facebook is the be all and end all. What I'm going to try and show you is how I use Facebook to build relationships, because a lot of my contacts that I get, what I try to do is connect with them on Facebook. So I haven't spent the last 5 years literally just building my business behind a computer. but I use it very, very effectively to get results from it. So, like I said before, this is my network choice because I don't want to confuse myself. When I'm working my business, I want my time to be productive. So, trying to learn everything else was just too confusing for me. And I guess, I know the last group, lots of people agreed that social media can be really confusing and complicated. Why I love Facebook as well, which is again very different to Instagram, is because you've got access to so many different groups on there. So if you think about how we can build our business, you're probably in a team Facebook group where you can connect with people. You can run pages and you can have files in there. So everything just seemed to connect for me, from working with the team to prospecting to customers and things like that. Whereas on other social networking platforms, you can't really do that. But also it's about expanding your network reach. So at the minute, we've probably all got our network on social media, which are our current friends. But as professional network marketers, what we need to be doing is expanding our network reach all of the time. And obviously Facebook allows you to do that. So when you are out and about and you're meeting people, you can connect with people that way. You might put a post on, they might see a post, you might drop them a little message. So it just allows you to really, really use all of the tools that it's got. One of the things that I love about Facebook is the fact that, there are so many groups in there. So one of the things that I concentrate on quite a lot is finding things that I'm interested in a group, and I network with people in there. So for example, I'm in a French Bulldog group because I've got a little French Bulldog. There's about 40,000 people in that group. So it's a huge opportunity, and I'm not going to prospect everybody in that group, but what I'm going to do is engage, network and build relationships. So it just allows you to do that. And if you look at, even just posting, you've got Facebook posts, Facebook stories, Facebook lives, videos. So it just gives you that really wide option. So that's, again, it's really just going to help you to expand your network reach. So you need to be prepared as well, because if you're prospecting people and you're inviting people to take a look at the business, you really need to make sure that you've got your tools in place. Oh, it's noisy over there. And basically what I do is I save everything to the notes section of my phone. So I'm ready to go to work if I'm, and that could be with customers, customer information about products or prospecting. So your who do you know list needs to be there, ready to go. A 5-minute video link if somebody's wanting some information about the business. I'll only ever send a 5-minute link if I physically can't meet somebody for a coffee, because you'll always get much better results meeting people face to face. So for me, a 5-minute link is like a second backup if that isn't possible. So really try and get coffees with people as well. Having a recorded business presentation saved on your phone, so when you've had that one-to-one and they're ready to take a look at the next step, you've got it there. A Facebook prospecting page, I'm going to touch on that and how we use that within our team. You've got your shop link, your company website, a product brochure online. So just make sure you have all of these tools somewhere handy, because whether that's customers or prospects, you need to have your tools ready to go, because you're running a business. And you can't be waiting for your upline to send you something. You need to go out there and find it and be as organised as you can going into this next decade, because it'll make such a difference. So we have a system to follow in forever, and that is the first steps to manage your book. A system is a way of working, organising or doing something which follows a fixed set of plan or rules. Now what I want to show you is how I run my systems, and I'll link that into social media. So obviously that is starting with my who do you know list and my trackers. So these are probably what I believe are my two most important documents when I am sharing the opportunity with people. So I'm just going to show you how I run my business on a daily basis with these two documents. Basically over here This is just one page of my Who Do You Know list. And what I do is when I've invited somebody to take a look at the business, all I do is put a little tick next to it to say that that's been done. So I know that in future that person I have connected with and I've invited them to take a look at the opportunity. If they turn yellow, what that means is that they've expressed an interest. So they've actually asked for information. They might not have looked at it, but I know that there's something there that in the future it could be right for them. So I always highlight them in yellow so I can see at a glance who was slightly warmer than just the person that got the tick. Does that make sense? And then over here, I track my prospects. So these are people who have actually seen the business. Okay, I will only ever put people on my tracker that have seen the business, and they're yellow if they were interested and they've just seen a little bit. These are people that have seen a business presentation. And then what I do is when they do get started, I highlight them in green so that, again, it's good for my stats and for your stats, but when you're bringing people into the business, you can show them as well how many people you need to have a tracker to expect somebody to get started with you. Yeah. So that's just something that I do on a daily basis, which we should all be doing. And obviously with recruitment or retail, it's all about building relationships. So this is something that I've learned over time, because I've learned that a no is a no, not now, basically. And I think if I had known that right at the very start, I wouldn't have maybe lost so many prospects or customers and things like that. But basically, what I do now is I make sure that anyone that has expressed an interest in the business, I work really hard on building that relationship, because actually it's all about trust. Just because you offer somebody something once and they say no, or they ignore you, and you go back and you follow up, you've got to build relationships with people so that they gain trust in you, they gain trust in seeing what you're doing, and they see the consistency of what you're doing, and the more they see that, the more that relationship begins to develop. So one of the ways that I do that, and has worked really, really effectively and saved me a lot of time on social media, is adding people that I've invited to take a look at the business who've looked at it. So they've said yes to some information, is I add everybody at that point as a close friend. So these are the steps on how you can add them as a close friend. Now, when you add somebody as a close friend on Facebook, Facebook will give you a notification when that person has posted on social media. So when I pick up my phone on an evening time, what I'm not doing is pointlessly scrolling and wasting time. What I'm doing is I'm looking at my notifications, and I'm looking at what my potential prospects or potential future team have been up to. And I engage with them, not all the time, or else I'll think I'm a bit weird and a bit stalky, but I engage with them. I'll like their post, I'll comment on their post, and then what that does is it actually puts your newsfeed into their newsfeed. So the more you engage with people, the more you will pop up and appear in their newsfeed, and they're going to see what you're up to as long as you're consistent in what you're doing as well. Does that make sense? So you can do it on a phone or a laptop. These are the stages of how you can do it, but basically you just go to your friends section, select who you want. So I've got that lady there, so let's just say Abby has had a look at some information, or I've had a coffee with her but it's not the right time. That doesn't mean to say that I end my relationship with Abby there. It's now about building a relationship built on trust and friendship. Okay, so I'm going to select Abby, and I'm going to add her as a close friend. So you just go to the friends section. There'll be a little drop down box where it confirms that you and that person are friends. Then you just edit your friends list. This will appear. You select close friends, and it will give you a little tick to say that you and that person are now close friends. So you'll get, it used to be a yellow notification, I don't think it is now, I think it's just red, but normally I'll get a notification to say Abby Lampton has just posted, and I'll go and have a look and see what Abby's up to. Because, you know, although we're network marketers, it is about building relationships, and the more you do that, the more, like I say, people will trust you. You're going to develop your communication skills as well. The second thing that I use Facebook for when I'm building my business is a prospect page. So this is a community that we've created in our team. Some of you might have them, some of you might not. And it's basically a group, a bit like your team pages. So in this group, we've got the team, and then we've got all of our prospects. So these are people who are looking at the business. They might have had a 5-minute link, a coffee, a one-to-one, seen a business presentation. I always say to people, would it be okay if I add you into a page where you can see how this business is working for other people? Because I don't just want you to see my point of view on it. I want you to see how other people are experiencing the business as well. Because everyone's different, and you know, some people aren't going to join because they want a chairman's bonus check. Some people are going to join because they want £50 a month. And if somebody's shown that they're earning £50 a month, that's what's going to tick, you know, their hot button for them. So a prospect page is really important. I encourage everybody in my team to post in there. And the reason why is because if you've got prospects in there and you're not posting, they aren't going to see anything. So if, say for example, Gemma, who's in my team down here at the front, if Gemma posted into the prospect page, my prospects aren't going to see Gemma's post because my prospects aren't friends with Gemma on Facebook. Does that make sense? So they'll only see what you post. So if you haven't got one of these and you want to set one up, you have to use it consistently and effectively to make it work. And a lot of my recruitment and some of the team's recruitment have come as a result of this page because we're consistent with it. So this just gives an idea of some of the things that we use. So success days are a perfect day to showcase what we do. This is Rebecca posting about Margaret, who'd already earned £300 in retail profit. So if any of Rebecca's prospects or Margaret's prospects are in that group, they're going to see that, and it's a little seed planted. And then Ruth, who you're going to hear from soon, she just talks in there about how her daughter's got dance school fees and how Forever's really helped to pay and contribute to that. So again, all Ruth's prospects are going to see that. So it's a really, really good and effective way to have a community of people that are interested. Might not be today, might not be next week, might not be next year, might be in 10 years. If you're in Forever for the long haul, are you prepared to wait for that prospect for when the timing is correct for them? Facebook stories is another thing that I've just started to use. It was actually Lisa Prescott who taught me how to use a Facebook story. I had no idea, but I think you can learn how to do them on YouTube. So if you don't know how to do the stories, it's just a case of finding out and using them, or following somebody that you know who's really good at them. But I love Facebook stories because people's attention span on social media is very, very short. So you can see lots of people just flick through their stories now. And you need to try and be creative and make your stories quite intriguing. I'm not the most creative person, so I do follow people who are good at this type of thing, and I just copy them. Like, I literally just copy them. So I see Bettina, I see Lisa, I think, oh, that's good, I'm going to copy that, but just put my spin on it and use my images. So this is the type of thing where we should all share success. You know, we're a big team in the UK. If someone's had a promotion in a Crossline team, I use that information. Like, I really do, because it's showing success as a company. So these are just some of the examples of the crazy things that I get up to on my stories. But they've really, really worked. And the next story that I'm going to show you, you can do polls on there as well. I'm sure you guys know that. But with the poll, just a top tip, you probably know this, Never use a yes or no response. A no response is a negative response. So you want to give people on polls, and this could be product related as well, 2 options that are positive. So it could be 100% in, or yeah, I want info, something like that. So always put your responses positive so that people can't say no to you on your poll. So I'm just going to show you, this was a story that I used not last month, the month before, and it actually got 2 people joining my team. So 2 people joined my team off the back of a story which took me 5 minutes to create. 5 minutes to create and 2 people joined. So this is what happened on this story. Hi, I'm here with Olga and we're at Success Day. Olga, tell everybody about your success in the last 8 weeks of joining the business.
I've made £2,000 and 300 in 8 weeks in a profit.
Wow! And then all I did was just back that up. So we're all here where we've got success today. Get down there and take little videos, because this is the kind of thing that you can do. So that just kind of backed up what we were saying there. It just showed the second part of Olga's story. And people like that. It's like reality TV. People love reality TV, and these are the types of things that intrigue people. And the thing is with the stories, they only stay there for 24 hours. So yeah, you might not capture everyone, but if you're consistent with it, what will happen is your network reach will expand as well. So I remember when I first started doing stories, you can see how many people see them. The more consistent I've been with them, it's reaching more people. And the great thing about it is that you can see who's looking as well. So you know out of your prospects who are actually watching. So something crazy happened off the back of that as well. I actually got a message of a lady that I had a one-to-one with probably 3 years ago. I had a coffee with her and she never got started. But what she said is, wow, I've just noticed that gentleman. That gentleman was Phil Pickles. And she was like, he lives in the same village as me here in Yorkshire. #small world. I'm not going to lie, I'm still too unsure to take the plunge into network marketing, but I know that there'll become a time when I feel confident enough to do it, take that leap of faith, and I'm sure it will be worth it one day. I certainly know to come to you for support when that day comes. I do enjoy watching your posts and live feeds. Now, just imagine if I'd just got started in my business and this lady, Kathy, was one of the first few people that I had a one-to-one with, and she didn't join, and I stopped and I quit. Like, she could get started in 3 years' time and build an incredible business. Do you see what I mean? So you've just got to keep doing the activity and let go of the outcome. And I know that one day, when the time is right for Kathy, she will join. So just a little recap, linked to the First Steps to Manager, which is the system and how I use social media to help me link that system up even just a little bit more. So it starts with my who do you know list, my trackers to keep track of people, making sure that I've got all of my tools in place, the business presentation 5-minute video, making sure that anyone that I've shared information with, whether that's a tiny bit of information or a full BP, they are now a close friend and somebody that I am building a relationship with. I remember having a conversation with Jane last year, and I asked her the question, what comes first? Do you ask the person if they want to take a look at the business first, if they'd be open to taking a look, or do you build the relationship first? And Jane said to me, Lisa, you've got a purpose in life, and your purpose is to invite people to take a look at what we do. If you hang around for too long building a relationship, when's the question going to come? And it was just one of those light bulb moments, and I thought, you're absolutely right. So I switched everything up. I started to go in, invite people if they want to take a look, let go of the outcome, and the relationship comes after. And it's made a massive difference to my business this year. Prospect page, and then consistent Facebook posts or stories if you're using Facebook. So these are my recruitment results. So I have taken some time out this year. I've sponsored 27 people in 2018, and I think it's 14 people this year. From my 2018 results, 15 of those people came from following up, and only 12 came from new leads within that year, so new people that I was talking to. This year, 10 followed me up. What I mean by that is because I'm consistent in what I'm doing and I'm showcasing what I'm doing, 10 people actually came to me and said, right, I've been watching you for too long now and I'm ready to get started, which was fantastic. And only 3 have come from new leads. So it really, really does go to show the power of close friends, building relationships, the prospect page, and just being consistent in what you do. So this is an example of some of the messages that came through. Hi Lisa, can you send me some information on setting up the business with Forever? You sent me the details some time ago, but I realised the time wasn't right for me. I constantly have it on my mind, and I'm now in a position where I want to invest my time and effort into something that I can gain rewards whilst working from home. Looking forward to hearing from you, Nikki. Now, who wouldn't love a message like that to come through the inbox? Yeah, incredible. And Nikki's actually here today, right in the front. So there she is. So Nikki was watching probably, I think it was 2016, Nikki and I first connected. And then I had, this is another example. Hi Lisa, 1st of January. Do you see that? 1st of January. That's why it's so exciting. So 1st of January, I was like, whoo, 1st of January. Hi Lisa, are you able to give me some further information please? I apologise for not getting back to you. So you know when people ignore you and you feel a bit like, it's fine, let it go. They will come back to you at some point, or you'll get to follow them up. I keep looking at your profile and your team are really inspirational. It's amazing what you can achieve. I'd love to be part of that. So there you go. When the timing is right for people, that's when they're ready. So you just have to be patient. So these are my recruitment results, 2018 and 2019. So these are the non-manager case credits that have come from bringing people into the business. But what I really want to emphasise on, this was Nikki who got to supervisor, the lady who followed me up. What I really want to emphasise on with that is actually the new business that's been created as a result of that. So I'm just going to go on to this slide here. So new business is when you're bringing people into the team and it's the case credits and the business that's generated from them. So in 2018 that was 324 new business. So that's like me starting from scratch, getting my pack and bringing people into the business. And then in 2019, so this year, it's been 233 case credits of new business. So I've sponsored a lot less, but we've still had some fantastic results within the team. Now, what I like to pride myself on is putting myself always back in the shoes of being an assistant supervisor and getting myself to supervisor and manager again. I always do that. Every few months, every quarter, I just pretend, because that keeps your business ticking over and it maintains it. You know, so we're talking about maintaining those results at the gym. That's what that keeps doing. So if you just always do the same thing, that's going to happen. So in 2018, this new business averaged at 27 case credits per month. So that meant that every month I was actually achieving supervisor. Every single month. And then in 2019, around 20 case credits per month. What that's allowed me to do is re-qualify as a manager at 90 case credits of new business. I think that was over 4 months. So it's just keeping it going, developing the habits, developing the disciplines. And it's not hard what we do really. It's more about what goes on up here. That is the hard thing. When you're doing the work and not seeing the results. But please go back to my video right at the start, because I've had knocks, I've had hits. That wasn't an easy climb. It was a hard climb to get to that and achieve some of those things that you're seeing there. It wasn't easy. I think I sweated blood, tears, everything, you name it. But if I wasn't consistent and persistent, none of that would have happened, and you just don't know what your road ahead of you is. So I hope that's going to help in terms of just using Facebook or social media a little bit more effectively. I want to invite to the stage a lady called Ruth Panton. She joined the team in May of this year, and she hasn't really used social media at all to build her business. So she's quite a new FBO, actually new supervisor. And I just wanted to bring her up because I think it's a great way to share the comparison of not just relying on social media, because it's not everything. So can we please welcome Ruth to the stage? So Ruth, I think it would be really fantastic if you could just share with everybody how you got started with Forever.
Okay. Hi everyone. So I joined Forever earlier this year, and it wasn't something I was planning on doing really. I had one of the mums from school, Nikki, who's sitting over here.
That was Nikki who followed me up.
Nikki invited me to her launch party, and just being a friend, I said I would go along and support her on her new venture. I was a little bit cynical, I'm not going to lie, but the products looked nice, and I bought a couple of products at the launch, filled in the questionnaire saying no to pretty much everything that I didn't want to get involved with. But I did say to her that I would host a launch party for her at my house with my friends and family. So we got that booked in, the weeks went on, and I was using the products, I was starting to really enjoy using the products, and then my friends and family came to the launch party, and they all started to see how great the products were. And I just really enjoyed the environment of the launch party, of being around with people and giving them information about the products and sharing with them how the products were working for me and my children. And so Nikki just kind of said, look, you're buying quite a few products now, why don't you sign up, you'll get the discount. And so being a Yorkshire lass, I was like, well yeah, I'll sign up and I'll get the discount. So I did, I signed up. Had some friends and family that obviously already knew about the products because they'd been to my launch that I'd hosted for Nikki, and started to make a few sales. But then I didn't really have a major goal. I hadn't set out really planning on doing it. I'd kind of just fallen into doing it. And then my daughter, who's an elite dancer, got offered a part scholarship to do some more dancing. And we were already kind of struggling to cover the dance fees she already had, but I wanted to be able to give her this extra opportunity, which included the dance fees and the travel and the uniform and the costumes and whatever. And I just thought, we can't afford to do this unless I make a go of it. So that was my defining moment. That was the moment I decided, right, let's do this, let's make a go of it. So I did, and I started to book launch parties of my own. I started to retail more, and I just started to get there and get out in front of people and put the products out there.
Fantastic. So you can see Ruth's case credits on screen. You can see where she got a supervisor promotion. So how have you managed to maintain a balance of retail and recruitment?
Okay, so I still don't think of myself as a recruiter, which Lisa keeps telling me off for, because I have recruited 6 people in the 6 months that I've been in the business.
And she's achieved the Making Waves incentive level 4, haven't you? So that's another round of applause.
Yeah, so I saw it more as retailing to people and getting in front of them in the launch environment, which initially was a little unnerving, but I think because I naturally felt so good about the products that I found that was the best way to speak to them about the products. And then from then I've recruited from that. It has been like warm, what I would class as warm prospects that have started to come into my team. So they've joined either like myself to get the discount, or they've joined seeing what I was doing, seeing that if this busy mum who also works full time and travels around the country constantly with her daughter can fit it in, then maybe they can as well. And so what I do, although I'm not that confident or vocal on Facebook and things is that I do combine them. So I have a VIP group, and every time I attend a launch, I ask for people to join it, and they're just like what Lisa said, if you're consistent with your messages and put those on there, they will start to see. And I think now that I've achieved what I have, with the support of Lisa and Nikki and the cross lines as well, that maybe now is the time for me to really start thinking of myself as a recruiter and following some of Lisa's amazing tips in order to expand and use Facebook to get me up to the next level.
Yeah, well, I think it's just fascinating, isn't it? It's somebody brand new coming into the business, and just showing the power of a product launch, and how she's developed a fantastic retail business so soon. You're achieving between 4 and 8 case credits of retail every single month, but she's also sponsoring consistently from the people that she's met at those product launches. So 2 very opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of what I've shown you and what Ruth is doing. Because you can't beat that face-to-face contact, and I suppose what I've shown you is just how you can, and what Ruth is doing as well, is just keeping those relationships building on Facebook or your social media platforms, because that is really what the key thing is. It's not just thinking, well, she said no, she's ignored me, I'm going to forget about that person forever. It's all about that relationship building that comes after. Yeah.
I think that's quite hard, isn't it? What we've been discussing like over the weekend is that it's quite hard to accept when somebody joins up and isn't necessarily as active or isn't necessarily as keen as what you are on the business, or they get deflated too soon. But I just think it's just proven to me that whenever you're recruiting, keep going with the recruiting, even if they join like I did. Genuinely, I know my journey was quite quick, but I genuinely did just join for the discount, but then within literally a couple of weeks I had a goal and I had a purpose. So even if you're getting people who are joining just for the discount, it could lead to something else if you build a relationship with them and keep them in your group and see what you're doing.
Yeah, and even with your team members, you might bring people into the business who, like Ruth said, you feel frustrated maybe they aren't doing much, or you'd like them to be a little bit more like you. You can't make people be like that, and sometimes people join the business and the time isn't right for them. It really isn't. I don't know if you were here for the Jane Leach slot before, but we heard from Hayley, and she's been in the business for 4.5 years, and it wasn't really, and I spent some time with Hayley last night, it wasn't really until January of this year that she, after 4.5 years of being involved with Forever, that she decided to go to work. That's when she made that decision. So again, you can't really measure your business on how long you've been involved. I always think you can only measure your business on how long you've been consistently doing the work that it says in the First Steps to Manager book. That's all you can measure it on. So I hope that's helped. And do you know what thank you, Ruth. Thank you very much. What is really, really exciting as well, the fact that we're going into a new decade. Who's excited that this is now with 2 case credits? So why wouldn't you not? It's an extra free, it's a free case credit that's going to double your business if you really, really focus your energy. And actually, you might think, this is recruiting somebody. You're retailing a pack of products as well. You are retailing a pack of products which is worth 2 case credits. So think about that as well. But how exciting, the fact that we're getting an extra case credit from Forever, so why not share it with everyone? So I wish you an amazing end to 2019 and a very, very I don't know what I'm going to say, like a fiery start, not a fiery start, an explosive start to 2020. Thank you very much.